Daf Yomi, Daf Yomi, Tractate Avodah Zarah, page 3a, top of the page. We left off at the bottom of 2b with the words Amar Mar Berei de Ravina. Mar, son of Ravina, said. And now we are on top of 3a. Lomar sha'af al pi shemekaymin osan ela mekablin alem sachar. This serves to say that even if they fulfill the 7 Noachide mitzvot, they do not receive a reward for their fulfillment. Villa Viatanya Aya Bime Omer Minayin Shefil Void. Talmud Lomar Asher Yaseh Otam Adam Chai Bahem Kohanim Leviim Yisraelim Lo Ne'emar Ela Ha'adam Ha'lamadeta Shafilu Goy V'Oisik B'Toira Ha'ehu Hu Kekohen Gadol. Okay, again, a disclaimer. I'm reading the Gemara, I'm reading the Talmud, but it doesn't always necessarily reflect my own opinion. That being said, let's continue. The Gemara asks, and are they not rewarded for fulfilling those mitzvot? But isn't it taught in a Braita that Rabbi Meir would say, from where is it derived that even a Gentile who engages in Torah study is considered like a high priest? The verse states, "You shall therefore keep my statutes and my ordinances, which if a person do, and shall live by them." Leviticus 18 verse 5. It is not stated priests, Levites, and Israelites, rather in general. Person. Adam. So according to this, person is anybody. Ben Adam, human being. From here you learn that a Gentile who engages in the study of Torah is like a high priest. This demonstrates that Gentiles are rewarded for fulfilling mitzvot despite the fact that they are not commanded to do so. Ela loy melach shemekabel alem sachar k'mitzvoise ela k'mi she'ein mitzvoise k'mechanina gadol mitzvoise yosef she'ein mitzvoise. Rather, the verse serves to tell you that they do not receive as great a reward for their fulfillment as one who is commanded and performs a mitzvah. Rather, they receive a lesser reward. That is what they're saying here. That, like that of one who is not commanded and still performs a mitzvah. As Rabbi Chanina said, greater is one who is commanded to do a mitzvah and performs it than one who is not commanded and performs it. Ela kach oimrim hagoyim lifnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu Ribono shel olam Yisrael shekiblu ha'echen kimuho. The Gemara returns to the discussion between God and the nations of the world, whose claims are rejected, with the rebuttal that they did not receive the Torah because they did not fulfill even the 7 Noachide mitzvot that were incumbent upon them. Rather, this is what the Gentiles say before the Holy One, blessed be He, Master of the universe. As for the Jewish people who accepted the Torah, where is the evidence that they fulfilled the mitzvot? Okay. Amar lahem HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem will say to them, is what they're saying, Ani me'id bahem shekimu es haTorah kula. Omrim lefanav ribono shel olam klum yeshav shmid al bano tichtiv benim bechori Yisrael. Amar lahem HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shemayim va'aretz ya'idu bahem shekimu es haTorah kula. The Holy One, blessed be He, says to them in response, I will testify about the Jewish people that they fulfilled the Torah in its entirety. The nations say before Him, Master of the universe, is there a father who can testify about his son? As it is written, Israel is my son, my firstborn. So now the non-Jews are all of a sudden, Talmid Chachamim now. And they know this thing that can't testify. What's interesting is that this is just Jewish people talking about this thing, which is just, I don't know. Anyway, it's my own question. Exodus 4:22. Since God is considered the father of the Jewish people, He is disqualified from testifying on their behalf. And how would non-Jews know this? The Holy One, blessed be He, said to them, Heaven and earth will testify. So the question is, according to this Talmud, why would God even why would start to testify if He's going to be challenged at that level? Why would He start saying? He knows that according to this thing, that's what's... So, it's probably not meant to be taken literally, but even in the figurative sense, there's some difficulty with it. But anyway, the Holy One, blessed be He, said to them, according to this thing, Heaven and earth will testify about them that they fulfilled the Torah in its entirety. Oimrim lifonov, Rabbeinu shel olam, Shemayim v'aretz noegim beiduson shneimar. Im lo brisi yomam v'layla chukas Shemayim v'aretz lo samti. Damar, or in brackets it says Ve'amar, Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, Mai dichtiv, V'yarvi boiker yom hashishi, Melamed shehitno HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Im Maaseh Bereshis, Ve'omar, Im Yisrael mekabelin es Torah simutav, V'im lav ani achzir etchem tohu v'vohu. The nations say before Him, Master of the universe, in this matter, the testimony of heaven and earth is tainted by a conflict of interest. As it is stated, if my covenant be not with day and night, I would not have appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth. Jeremiah 33:25. And concerning this verse, Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish says, what is the meaning of that which is written? And there was evening and there was morning the sixth day, which today happens to be Friday. Interesting. But anyway, Genesis 1:31. This teaches that the Holy One, blessed be He, established a condition with the act of creation and said, if the Jewish people accept my Torah at the revelation of Sinai, all is well. But if they do not accept it, I will return you to the primordial state of chaos and disorder. V'hainu de'amar Chizkiah mai dichtiv. This is a very messianic building. I hear the shofar blowing all the time, almost every day. Someone here, can you hear it? Someone blows a shofar every day. V'hainu damar Chizkiah mai dichtiv. Mishamayim nishmatu din eretz yara v'shakata. Im yara lama shakata, im shakata lama yara. Ela b'tchila yara, v'sov shakata. And this is similar to that which Hezekiah says, Hezekiah says with regard to a different matter. What is the meaning of that which is written? You caused sentence to be heard from heaven. The earth feared and was silent. Psalms 76, verse 9. If the earth feared, why was it silent? And if it was silent, why did it fear? I mean, it could still be fearful and silent. But anyway, one who is afraid does not stay silent, and one who remains silent thereby demonstrates that he's not afraid. Not necessarily. Someone can be so afraid that they're quiet. But anyway, that's what they're saying here. Rather, this is the meaning of the verse. At first, when God came to give the Torah to the Jewish people, the earth feared that they might not accept it, and it would be destroyed. And this is alluded to by the phrase, you caused the sentence to be heard. But ultimately, when the Jews accepted the Torah, the earth was silent. Consequently, or perhaps the word shakatan, in sheket, it means like, it has a connotation of peacefulness and not fear. Okay. But anyway, the earth was silent. The phrase caused the sentence to be heard. But ultimately, when the Jews accepted the Torah, at first, when God came to give the Torah to the Jewish people, the earth feared that they might not accept it and that it would be destroyed. This is alluded to by the phrase, "You caused the sentence to be heard." But ultimately, when the Jews accepted the Torah, the earth was silent. Consequently, heaven and earth are interested parties and cannot testify about the Jewish people's commitment to the Torah. Amar lehen HaKadosh Baruch Hu, mikem yavo'u v'ya'idu בהם בישראל שהקימו את הטבע הגדולה. יבוא נמרוד ויעיד באברהם שלא עבד עבד זרע, יבוא לעוון ויעיד ביעקב שלא נחשד על הגזל, תבוא אשת פוטיפרה ותעיד ביוסף שלא נחשד על העבירה. Instead, the Holy One, blessed be He, says to the nations, let the witnesses come from among you and testify that the Jewish people fulfilled the Torah in its entirety. Let Nimrod come and testify about Abraham that he did not engage in idol worship. Let Lavan come and testify about Jacob that he is not suspect with regard to robbery. See Genesis 31, 36 through 42. And let the wife of Potiphar come and testify about Joseph that he is not suspect with regard to the sin of adultery. See Genesis 39, 7 through 12. Okay. יבוא נבוכדנצר וירד בחננים של זרעו שלא ישתחוו לצלם יבוא את היבש ויהיה בדניאל שלא ביטל את התפילו יבוא בלדד השוחי בצופר הנעמתי ואליפז התימני ואליהו בן ברחאל הבוזי ויעידו בהם בישראל שקיימו את כל התורה כולה שנאמר ייתנו עדיהם ויזדעקו. Let Nebuchadnezzar come and testify about Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, that they did not prostrate themselves before a graven image. Let Darius come and testify about Daniel, that he did not neglect his prayer. See Daniel 6. Let Bildad, the Shuhite, and Sofer the Namathite, and Eliphaz the Temanite, and Elihu, the son of Barachel, Rachel, the Buzite, friends of Job, see Job 2:11 and 32 verse 2, come and testify about the Jewish people that they fulfilled the Torah in its entirety. I don't know how they would know the Jewish people, but there weren't any Jewish people yet, right? Wasn't Abraham? If Job was before Abraham, how could these people testify about the Jewish people? Maybe someone asked this question. Anyway, as it is stated, all the nations are gathered together. Let them bring their witnesses that they may be justified. Isaiah 43, verse 9. In other words, the gathered Gentiles will submit testimony on behalf of the Jewish people and demonstrate the Jews' righteousness. אמרו לפניו ריבונו של עולם, תנה לנו אש ונעשינו. אמר להם הקדוש ברוך הוא, שויטים שמו עולם, מי שטרח בערב שבס יאכל בשבס, מי שלא טרח בערב שבס, מהיכן יאכל בשבס. Right now it's Erev Shabbos, actually. Interesting. אלא אף על פי כן, מצווה קלה יש לי, Isuka Shimo Nechu Ve'asu Oiso. This is a famous Gemara. The Gentiles come before him, Master of the universe. They say before him, Master of the universe, give us the Torah afresh, and we will perform its mitzvot. The Holy One, blessed be He, says to them in response, fools of the world, do you think that you can request this? One who takes pains on Shabbat Eve will eat on Shabbat, but one who did not take pains on Shabbat Eve, from where will he eat on Shabbat? The opportunity for performing mitzvot has already passed, and it is now too late to ask to perform them. But even so, I have an easy mitzvah to fulfill, and its name is Sukkah. Go and perform it. Umi matzeit amritachi. V'ha'amar Yehoshua ben Levi, ma'i dichtiv. Asher anochi mitzavka hayom la'asotam, v'lo lemachar la'asotam. Hayom la'asotam, v'lo hayom litol sachar. The Gemara asks, and how can you say so, that it is possible to perform mitzvah after the end of this world? But doesn't Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi say, what is the meaning of that which is written, you shall therefore keep the commandment and the statutes and the ordinances which I command you this day to do them? Deuteronomy 7:11. This verse teaches that today, in this world, is the time to do them. Tomorrow, in the world to come, is not the time to do them. Furthermore, today is the time to do them, but today is not the time to receive one's reward, which is granted in the world to come. Ela she'en Chadash Baruch Hu ba bitrunya im briotav v'amai karile mitzvah kala mishum delet ba chisaron kis. Okay, so he had a mitzvah called Sukkah. He said, go and perform it. They want this mitzvah. Okay, so then the Gemara asks, how can you say this? Is it possible for mitzvah in the world? And then, apparently, I guess it's okay to do it. Whatever. I'm not sure. But anyway, the Gemara explains, but even so, God gave the nations the opportunity. Even though it's not the time, but still, He overrode that. God gave the nations an opportunity for a mitzvah. The Holy and Blessed be He does not deal tyrannically with His creations, but He wants them to feel that they have been judged fairly. The Gemara asks him, why does God call the mitzvah of Sukkah an easy mitzvah to fulfill? And then the answer is because performing the mitzvah involves no monetary loss. Well, it does cost money to build it, but anyway, okay. Miyad, the materials to build the sukkah, it costs something. Miyad kol echad be'echad nutu v'hoyna be'ois sukkah v'rosh gagoi. Ve'agadosh baruch hu magdir aleim chama mitkuvas Tammuz. I thought, anyways, all right. B'chol echad mi'baed b'sukkato v'yomar v'yotze shneimar Ninat Gad Mosrotemo Vinashlicha Miravotemo Magdir Vamrit Ena Kadosh Baruch Hu Ba Bitrunya Imbriota Mishum Israel Namizimni. Immediately, each and every Gentile will take materials and go and construct a sukkah on the top of his roof. Why the roof? Okay. And the Holy One, blessed be He, will set upon them the heat, Makdir, of the sun in the season of Tammuz, which we're about to enter right now. It's the Shabbos of Varchim, the Shabbos, another connection, in the summer. And each and every one who is sitting in his sukkah will be unable to stand the heat. And he will kick his sukkah and leave. As it is stated, let us break their bands asunder, and cast their cords from us. Psalms 2, verse 3. The Gemara asks, why does God heat the sun over them? But didn't you just say that the Holy One, blessed be He, does not deal tyrannically with His creations? The Gemara answers, this is not considered dealing tyrannically with the Gentiles, because for the Jewish people as well, there are times when the season of Tammuz extends until the festival of Sukkot. Okay, now we turn to 3b. Okay. Demashka lehu b'tkufas Tammuz ad chaga ve'havi lehu tzara ve'amarav b'sar patur nesukkah nehi depatur be'ote mi bati. When the season of Tammuz extends until the festival of Sukkot, and in such years sitting in the sukkah causes them suffering, the Gemara asks, but doesn't Rava say that the one who suffers in the sukkah is exempt from performing the mitzvah of sukkah? And under these circumstances, even a Jew is permitted to leave the sukkah. If so, why are the Gentiles criticized for leaving? The Gemara answers, granted that one is exempt from performing the mitzvah and is permitted to leave the sukkah, but should he kick it? So basically what they're saying here is that the Gentile, this is what they're saying, okay? I'm just saying what they're saying. That the Gentile is going to kick it. Is it every Gentile is going to kick it? Well, not every Gentile is going to kick it. Maybe, but they're saying the Gentiles are going to kick it, okay? But he should have just left it and without kicking it, okay? Miyad Kadosh Baruch Hu Yehoshua b'sakri alein sheno Yehoshua b'shamayim Yitzchak Amar Rabbi Yitzchak Ein tzachok lifnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu Ela oto hayom bilvad. The Gemara resumes its narration immediately. The Holy One, blessed be He, sits and makes sport of those Gentiles. He laughs at them, as it is stated. Now, I must admit that some of this Gemara can sound a little bit racist against Gentiles. I'm going to admit that. And so that's why I always have to reaffirm and reclaim my disclaimer that I am reading the content of the Talmud and stating it exactly as that. Because it's a Talmud project that I've undertaken to hopefully complete Shas. He laughs at them, therefore I have to read everything. He laughs at them, as it is stated, he that sits in heaven makes sport, the Lord has them in derision. Psalms 2, verse 4. With regard to this verse, Rabbi Yitzchak says, there is no making sport for the Holy One, blessed be He, but on that day alone. Ika demasni la Rabbi Yitzchak, Titanya Rabbi Yossi Omer, De'ati lavo ba'inumot ha'ulam, u'mitgaerin, u'mi mekavlin minayu, Betanya, אין מקבלים גרים למויס המשיח כי יועצי בוי לא יקיבלו גרים לא בימי דוד ולא בימי שלמה. There are those who teach that which Rabbi Yitzchak subsequently said with regard to this matter, as it is taught in a Bryant that Rabbi Yossi says, in the future the nations of the world will come and convert. The Gemara asks, and do we accept them as converts at that time? But isn't it taught in another Braita, the court does not accept converts in the days of the Messiah? Similarly, they did not accept converts either in the days of David or in the days of Solomon. If they didn't accept converts in the days of David, then Uriah the Hittite, was he not a convert? Okay. Due to a concern that these people wanted to convert for ulterior motives, because the Jewish people were mighty and respected. Ella, shinasu gerim gehurim, umenichen tefillin beroshem, tefillin bezaroisehem, tzitzis bevigdeim, zuzah bepischehem. Rather, Rabbi Yossi means that they become converts who have attached themselves to the Jewish people, and they don phylacteries on their heads, phylacteries on their arms, tefillin, on their heads and arms, placed ritual fringes on their garments, and a mezuzah in their doorways. Kevin Shirayim Milchemes Gog uMagog Amar Lehen Al Ma Basim Omrim Lo Al Hashem Yal Mashicho Shene'emar Lama Ragshu Goyim Uleumim Yehegu Rik the Gomer. When these converts see the war of Gog and Magog, every convert of this sort will say to Gog and Magog, "For what purpose did you come?" They will say to him, "We came to fight against the Lord and against his Messiah." As it is stated, "Why are the nations in an uproar? And why do the peoples mutter in vain? The kings of the earth stand up, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his Messiah." Psalms 2, 1-2. "V'chol echad v'natek mitzvato v'holech shneimar ninatka et mosrotemo v'gomer. V'akadosh baruch hu yoshev u'misachek shneimar yoshev b'shamayim yitzchak v'gomer. Amar v'yitzchak ein lo le'akadosh baruch hu tzchok ela oto hayom bilvad." And then every one of these converts will tear loose his sign of performance of a mitzvah and leave. As it is stated, "Let us tear their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us." Psalms 2 verse 3. And the Holy One, blessed be he, sits and makes sport, he laughs and rejoices. As is stated, he that sits in heaven makes sport, the Lord has them in derision. Psalms 2 verse 4. Rabbi Yitzchak says, "There is no making sport for the Holy One, blessed be he, but on that day alone." Okay. Is that so? Is that so? The Gemara asks, is that so? Ma'amar Yehuda Barav, Shtemes Shoes Have Hayom, Shalosh Rishon Zakadosh Baruch Hu Yoshev, V'Oisek V'Toeva, Shniyos Yoshev V'Dan Kol HaOlam Kulo, כיוון שרואה שנתחייב עולם כראיה, עומד מכיסא הדין, ויושב על כיסא רחמים. The Gemara asks, is that so? Is there no making sport for the Holy One, blessed be he? But doesn't Rabbi Yehuda say that Rav says there are 12 hours in the day? During the first 3, the Holy One, blessed be he, sits and engages in Torah study. During the second 3 hours, he sits and judges the entire world. Once he sees that the world has rendered itself liable to destruction, he arises from the throne of judgment and sits on the throne of mercy, and the world is not destroyed. Shlishiot Yoshev Zanis Kol Olam Kulo Mikal Nireimim Ad Beit Sekinim Ribi Ois Yoshev Mesachis Im Lo Yosem Shneimar Leviathan Ze Yitzarta Lesachik Bo. Amar Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak Im Reotav Mesachek V'al Berotav Eino Mesachek Ela Oto Hayom Bilvad. During the third set of 3 hours, the Holy One, blessed be he, sits and sustains the entire world, from the horns of wild oxen to the eggs of lice. During the fourth 3 hours, he sits and makes sport with the Leviathan, as it is stated, there is Leviathan, whom we have formed to sport with. Psalms 104:26. Evidently, God makes sport every day, not only on that one day. Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak says in explanation, he makes sport with his creations just as he sports with the Leviathan. He does not make sport of his creations, but on that day alone. Amar le Rav Acha le Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak miyom shecha Beit HaMikdash intzchok le'akadosh baruch hu ומנהלן של עגל שחוק אילמה מנכתיב ויקרא השם אלוקים צבאות ביום ההוא לבכי למספד ולקורך וגומר דילמה הוא יום המזולה. Rav Acha said to Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak, from the day the temple was destroyed, there is no longer any making sport for the Holy One, blessed be he. And from where do we derive that there is no making sport? If we say that it is from that which is written, and in that day did the Lord, the God of hosts, call to weeping, and to lamentation, and to baldness, and to girding with sackcloth. Isaiah 22:12. That is inconclusive. Perhaps that day alone was called for weeping and lamentation, and no additional days. אלא דכתיב, אם אשכחך ירושלים, תשכח ימיני, תדבק לשוין לחיי לא ישכחי דילמה, שכחה הוא דלקה, אבל שחק מהאיקה. אלא מה, החשיתי מעולם החריש את אפק וגומר. Rather, you might suggest that the source is, that is written, if I forget you, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. Let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth if I do not remember you. Psalms 137, 5 and 6. This is also inconclusive, as perhaps there is no forgetting of Jerusalem for God. But in any event, there is still making sport. Rather, it is derived from this verse. I have long time held my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now I will cry like a travailing woman, gasping and panting at once. Isaiah 42:14. Berevi'iyot mayavad Yehoshua lametinoi k'shuvis chaven toire shenemar esmi yoredea esmi abin shmuel gemuli mechalabeti kimishidai lemi yoredea ulemi abin shmuel legemule mechalav uleatike mishidai. The Gemara asks, if God no longer makes sport, what does he now do during the fourth 3-hour period of the day? The Gemara answers, he sits and teaches Torah to school children. As it is stated, whom shall one teach knowledge? And whom shall one make to understand the message? To them that are weaned from the milk, them that are drawn from the breasts. Isaiah 28 verse 9. The verse is interpreted in the following manner. To whom does God teach knowledge? And to whom does he make to understand the message? To those who are just weaned from the milk? To those who are just weaned from the milk, and to those who are drawn from the breasts, meaning children only recently weaned from nursing. Mikara man. A little break here. Mikaraman having Marloi Voisemi Tatron. The Gemara asks, and initially, before the destruction of the temple, who would teach the school children? The Gemara answers, if you wish, say the angel Metatron would teach them. But if you wish, say instead that he would do both this, sport with the Leviathan, and that, teach the school children. Whereas, after the destruction of the temple, in the fourth period of the day, he only teaches the school children. Are they suggesting that the angel Metatron would sport with the Leviathan? Or is it God? The angel Metatron would teach them, huh? It's something to think about. ובלילה מעביד יבויסי ממין יממה יבויסי מה רוחב הכרוב קל שלו וישד ב18 לבוילה מויס שנאמר חברים מדבסיים אלפי שנים עד תקבל שינן אלא שאינן יבויסי מה יושב ושומע שירה מפי החיות שנאמר יומם יסבא השם חסדו ובלילה שירו עמי. The Gemara asks him, during the 12 hours of the night, what does God do? The Gemara answers, if you wish, say that the night is similar to the day. God performs the same activities in the day. And if you wish, say instead that he rides on his light cherub and flies in 18,000 worlds. As it is stated, the chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands. Psalm 68:18. Do not read it as even, rather as that which are not. Shinan, rather she'enan, which are not. Since the minimum of thousands is 2,000, the phrase that which are not thousands indicates that 2,000 are not present. The chariots of God are 20,000 minus 2,000, which means that God rides in 18,000 worlds. And if you wish, say instead that God sits and listens to the songs from the mouths of the angelic creatures. As it is stated, by day the Lord will command his loving kindness, and in the night his song shall be with me. Psalms 42, verse 9. Okay. Amar Rabbi Levi, kol apoisik, v'divrei Torah poisik, v'divrei sicha machilin. Okay, I'm just going to ask the question anyway. If the angels sing at night, so why did the angel that wrestled with Jacob have to leave at the daybreak? According to it's like a contradictory kind of medrash. Okay, anyway, it's a question that came to mind, at least I asked it here. Amar Rabbi Levi, kol apoisik, v'divrei Torah poisik, v'divrei sicha machilin, lo gachal Yerushalayim. שנאמר הכותבים מלוח על היציאה ושך חסמים לחמן אמר יש לקיש כל העסק מתאר בלילה הקדוש ברוך הוא מוישה חלב חוט של חסד ויום שנאמר יום מצב השם חסדו ובלילה שירו עמי מה הטעם יום מצב השם חסדו משום ובלילה שירו עמי. Rabbi Levi says anyone who interrupts his study of words of Torah to occupy himself with mundane matters will be fed with the coals of the broom tree. As it is stated, they pluck salt ore from wormwood, and the roots of the broom are their food. Job 30 verse 4, Rish Lakish says, with regard to anyone who occupies himself with Torah at night, the Holy One, blessed be He, extends a thread of kindness over him by day. As it is stated, by day the Lord will command his kindness, and in the night his song shall be with me. Psalms 42 verse 9. The verse is understood as follows. What is the reason that by day the Lord will command his kindness to extend over him? It is due to the fact that in the night his song is with me, meaning he occupies himself at night with Torah, which is referred to as a song. אמר יש לקיש כל עסק מתאר בזה הדומה ללילה הקדוש ברוך הוא מושך עליו חוט של חסד בעולם הבא הדומה ליום שנאמר יומם מצב השם חסדו וגומר. There are those who say that this is what Rish Lakish says with regard to anyone who occupies himself with Torah in this world, which is comparable to night. The Holy One, blessed be He, extends a thread of kindness over him in the world to come, which is comparable to day. As it is stated, by day the Lord will command his kindness, and in the night his song shall be with me. Amar Yehuda Shmuel Ma'im Dichsiv Tasi Adam K'di Hayam G'rem Islam Oishel Lama Nimshlu B'nei Adam K'di Hayam Lomar Lach Ma Dagim Shivayam Kivan She'olin Le'yabasha Miyad Meisim Af B'nei Adam She'kivan She'parsim Yidivei Torah ומן המצוות מיד מייסים דבר אחר מה דגים שבים כיוון שקדרה עליהם חמה מיד מייסים כך בני אדם כיוון שקדרה עליהם חמה מיד מייסים. The Gemara continues discussing the important Torah study. Yehuda says that Shmuel says, what is the meaning of that which is written and makes people as the fish of the sea, as the creeping things that have no ruler over them. Habakkuk 1:14. Why are people compared to fish of the sea? This serves to say to you, just as with regard to the fish of the sea, once they rise onto dry land, they die immediately, so too with regard to people, once they separate themselves from studying the words of Torah and performing the mitzvot, they die immediately. Alternatively, just with regard to the fish of the sea, once the sun is heated over them, they die immediately, so too with regard to people, once the sun is heated over them, they die immediately. Iboy Seima, Ba'olam Hazeh, V'yibayseim l'olam haba, yibayseim l'olam hazeh, ked Rabbi Chanina. Rabbi Chanina called b'nei Shemayim chutz mitzinim upachim, shneimar tzinim pachim b'derech ikesh, shomer nafsho yirchak mehem. The Gemara clarifies, if you wish, say that this applies in this world, and if you wish, say instead that it applies to the world to come. If you wish, say that it applies in this world in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Chanina. As Rabbi Chanina says, all occurrences that befall man are in the hands of heaven, except for colds and obstacles, which one is able to protect himself. As it is stated, colds and snares are on the path of the crooked. He who guards his soul shall keep far from them. Proverbs 22, verse 5. This indicates that cold and conversely heat are forms of harm from which one must protect himself, which teaches that being exposed to excessive heat can cause death. Ein Gehenna lati lavo, el HaKadosh Baruch Hu motzi chama mi'enar tika, u'makdir rishaim nidonin ba, v'tzadikim mitrapin ba. Rishaim nidonin ba. And if you wish to say, instead, that this is referring to the world to come, in accordance with the statement of Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish. As Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish says, there is no Gehenna in the world to come. Rather, the Holy One, blessed be He, will remove the sun from its sheath, where it is situated during these times, and heats that world with it. The wicked will be punished by it, and consumed by the heat, and the righteous will be healed by it. And then it goes on to say, the wicked will be punished by it. Okay, to be continued on next daf.